Hey, ma'am, quick question. What is the most beautiful thing about a white woman?
Well, what do you think?
Well, I would like to hear your answer first. Or do you know anything beautiful or not?
We're all created as God's people, so we're all just beautiful.
But what about their hair? Don't they have beautiful hair?
Their hair is just hair.
All black women should say white women's hair is beautiful because like black women wear like the straight hair and the wigs and things like that, which is indicative of white women's hair. Am I right?
So, what are you saying?
So basically I'm saying that black women's first answer should be white women's hair is the most beautiful thing about them because that's what black women try to emulate is their hair. Am I right?
Well, at the end of the day, it's just hair. Well, it's not just hair. It just means different things. In society, in history, black people have been discriminated on bases such as either their skin color, black women, their sex, black people, their hair. And so I guess it could be a thing where it's like, that might be their response, where they might say that just because that's one of the things that they've been discriminated based off of.
So don't you think we should maybe move away from the fake hair and the straightening the hair and things like that? Just because what you just said, it started from a negative place, like black women trying to fit into society and trying to, look like another race. But if we were never colonized, black women would never be even wearing their hair straight in the first place. They would be wearing it how it naturally grows. Don't you think that more black women should wear their natural fros and natural hairstyles versus the straight and things like that?
Well, just because something started off for a negative reason doesn't mean that now it can't shift into something where it's like not all women who like straight their hair, black women straight their hair because they're trying to fit a certain thing. Some black women, they straighten their hair just because it's easier for them to take care of it. It should just be a choice of the person what they choose to do with their hair, where it might have started of, oh, we got to straighten our hair to fit in. Now it's just, oh, I straighten my hair because I just want to straighten my hair. Just because that's how it started doesn't mean that has to be the thing now.
Well, I mean, for you to say that straightening your hair, they do it because it's easier, that's underlying of wanting to look like a white person or conform to like a European beauty standard because it wouldn't.
Just because they say for them it's easier doesn't always mean that they're thinking, oh, if I straighten it, I'm subscribing to the European standards, thereby I'm beautiful, thereby it's easier. It could just be that some black women, they didn't grow up in that culture where women knew how to take care of the natural curly hair, where their hair was straightened, where their hair was relaxed. And so that's all they know is how to take care of their hair when it's straight, but it's still natural and it still grows and it's still taken care of. At the end of the day, it should be just the choice of the woman, not predicting off of any sort of standards in society, but just her choice at the end of the day. If she wants to straighten it, if she wants to leave it curly, if she wants to lock it up, if she wants to wear wigs, if she wants to wear braids, it's her choice at the end of the day because she's the one who has to sleep with that hair.
I understand that's her choice, but I'm saying by her saying it's easier, what you're doing is you're conforming to a European beauty standard, whether you think about it or not. Because when you walk outside in society, the easiest thing that would be is for you to wear your natural fro because you don't really have to do it. You can put some oils in there, fluff it up a little bit, walk outside. But
well, that's not the easiest thing for some black women either.
But wearing your hair straight is not easy because you have to straighten that too. You have to fix it up. You have to brush it. So a lot of the times the maintenance that goes into a wig or straight hair and things like that is much more than your natural hair. But then they come with these excuses like, oh, it's easier or this is just what I want to do. But what you're really doing is you're trying to fit this look that society wants you to fit. Don't you understand that?
That's not always the case even today. I mean, some women, they just choose to wear the wig, wear it straight because it is easier for them. That doesn't mean that they look at fros as hard to maintain, but it's just easy for them. Just like a woman who walks out in her natural fro, it's easy for her, whereas it might be hard for her to maintain a straightened hair. It's just, again, like I said, based off of a preference, based off a lot of different things. How did she grow up? Did she grow up in an environment where it was pushed to wear the fro, where she learned how to take care of it? Because, again, certain styles that a woman may choose is what's easy for her. Like, you see some women, they walk out here with fros, and that's all they know. It's easy for them because they put in that practice of taking care of their hair. Same with the woman with the straight hair. She's put in that practice of taking care of her hair in that state. Now, that doesn't mean that she looks at somebody with the afro, somebody with the straight, and they're like, oh, they're choosing that it's easier because this, that, and the third. That's just what they know. And you can't really blame somebody for choosing to take care of their hair in a state if that's all they know.
Yeah,
it's
but
their
see,
choice still at the end of the day.
that's why I think it's good for people to educate women and let them know, hey, you don't need to be putting on the wigs and the straight hair weaves and things like that, because but they need to but what they need to do though is embrace their natural hair, because by you saying I grew up this way where I never learned how to do my hair, and it's so much harder for me to take care of my natural hair, you're saying that God didn't make you perfectly already. That's basically what you're saying. So black women should embrace themselves first, and then if you know how to do your hair and all that, and then you decide to put on a wig, then that's on you. But I think we're supposed to be setting an image for people that come after us, just like black men. We shouldn't be walking around the streets with sagging our pants, selling weed, because then the little black boys are going to be like, oh, this is what I want to do too. Just like with the women, you guys should be promoting your natural hair, so when little girls grow up, they look at you and they're like, oh, black is beautiful, not straight hair is beautiful.
But
you feel me?
that's the problem right there, even still, where you're saying we should do this, we should do that.
Right.
The choice should be on the person who actually has to live with that hair,
right,
what they choose to do with it. If a black lady chooses to straighten her hair for whatever reasons, that's the choice that she's making. If a woman chooses to wear her afro, that's the choice that she's making, whether it's how she grew up, whether she just one day decided, oh, I want to wear my natural hair now. There shouldn't be one style forced upon a person. Like I said in the beginning, just because at first it was pushed on for negative reasons, now we see people now who are pushing back and they're like, no, I don't want to wear my hair straight, I want to wear it in a fro. But then there are also some people who are saying, well, I just still want to wear my hair straight. That's their choice. At the end of the day, we all have that choice. Now, like I said, pushing one thing over the other, it's still not giving people that choice. And it's like, even when you were saying like men shouldn't walk around with their pants sagging because that'll push out a negative image. That's true. But at the end of the day, like, people still have that choice. And it's like, when you say we should tell the women, don't wear the weaves, don't wear the things, like, you're not giving them that freedom of choice. Ultimately, still, at the end of the day, people have to have that freedom of choice to choose. They know that these options are available. Like, okay, you can tell them you don't have to, but if you're still making the choice to, then that's okay.
So do you think bad people should have a freedom of choice though? Because my thing is, if everybody's out here promoting bad things and just doing what they want to do because they feel like it, but it's also hurting the generations that come after you, saying free choice is really not something that's good for everybody. Maybe that's good for you and whoever's doing these things, but I feel like people today are very selfish and they don't think about how other people are viewing them. Like, you're a role model to some little girl out there. I don't know you personally, but I know you know some little girl and she's looking up to you, or maybe you're going to have a daughter one day. So I'm just saying we should do what's best for our generations that come after us, because you're the one that makes a change.
The thing about having that freedom of choice is that we have the choice to either choose the good, the bad. We have the choice of choosing the decision. And sometimes, like you said, people don't make the decisions based off of what other people do. They base it off themselves.
Right.
And unfortunately, we can't take that choice away from even the quote-unquote bad people, because then that would be us taking away their freedom of choosing. Because at the end of the day, God gave us that freedom to choose. Just because some people are choosing to do the wrong thing, the bad thing, we still can't take that away from them, unfortunately. The people who recognize that what they're doing is wrong, we can't enable them to do those bad things.
But should we voice our opinion and say, hey, what you're doing is wrong?
Yes, we should still, but even if that person still chooses to do bad, the people who have the power to hold them accountable and to actually enact.
You got a bug right here, just flew on you. It's on your eyebrow. Now you're good now.
Okay.
It came out of nowhere. He wanted to listen too. He's like, "What y'all talking about?"
But even the people who,
Yeah.
it's the responsibility of those who recognize that what they're doing is bad to also hold them accountable to that. It's just the world that we live in, unfortunately, it's just very, very broken. And sometimes what's right and wrong, it gets so twisted. And so it's very tough. But at the end of the day, like I said, we as the people who recognize, like, we have to hold them accountable. And even when we tell those people that you're doing bad, you're doing wrong, and they still choose to do wrong, all we can do at that point is try and hold them accountable to it and just pray for them and hope that God can show them themselves.
What about you? Do you wear your hair naturally all the time, or is this you all the time, or what is your like routine?
Well, not all the time.
Uh-huh.
Just also depends on the weather, because I do wear my natural hair, but I can't always wear my natural hair out because of the weather. Like if it's really, really cold, like say like from November to things like February, I would prefer to have it in a protective style because my hair is high porosity, and although it takes in moisture, that moisture can easily get sucked out.
Do you think a wig is protective though?
It is, because I can still like moisturize it underneath, and that moisture is still being sealed in and it's covering my head and being kept away from the cold, versus if I were to have it out.
So, but do you realize a wig is not protective? That's just something to protect you from society and how people look at you. But the real thing that's protective is the braids or whatever hairstyle that you have under the wig. That's protecting your hair the whole time.
Go out, like I said again, my hair, knowing its porosity, knowing how it operates, keeping it from the cold helps to keep in that moisture for my hair. Like I said, it's just different for other people's hair. How they know their hair operates is how they choose to go about the styles that they choose. At the end of the day, if they know how their hair is, then they should make that choice of what to do with their hair.
I do want to, and really quick, if you want to go, you can, because I'm going to ask you a ton of questions. So if you just want to end it, just be like, I'm done.
No, I just actually have to go.
You do? Okay.
I do.
Gotcha. I appreciate you.